if you could shadow one video creator for the day, who would it be and why?
Well, you're expecting me to say Casey Neistat.
No, I don't think you're going to be that obvious.
No, well, the thing is, like, Casey would be great, but I've done his course and I've effectively shadowed him for a day. Like, I've seen how he does it.
Yeah.
There's a guy who we had on the webinar called Beau Miles.
When Joe sent me that, I'm a massive Beau Miles fan.
Same.
When
That's why he was
Joe,
on. I was like, I love Beau Miles. I said to Joe, I was like, can we have him on as a guest? And he was like, yeah, drop him an email. So I dropped him an email. I was like, hi Beau, really like your videos. Do you want to be
when,
on a marketing podcast? And he was like, yeah, all right, mate. I was like, what?
me and my wife watch it. So he's another one up there with Casey. When that notification bell goes,
Yeah.
it's so my wife's not really into Casey like that. But when Beau drops his videos that night, we are watching it on the telly.
Yeah.
And I remember when Joe sent that email, and I was sitting in the kitchen. My wife was getting the kids breakfast. The kids behind me. So I got a 3 and a 5-year-old. I usually just, well, 2, whatever, I don't know. And I was like, what the fuck? My wife was like, what's going on? And I was like, they've got fucking Beau Miles. She's like, no way. That's the one and only marketing meetup my wife has watched, by the way.
That's
There's no
brilliant.
slant on the marketing meetup. She's just not into marketing. And I was like, oh, you bastards. I was so jealous.
I was like, I have to be on that one, Joe. I have to be on that one. He's an absolute hero. But I also, I watch his films. As just a huge fan,
Yeah.
but B as somebody who makes videos, I want to know more about about his process, because he covers a lot off in the edit by doing voiceovers. So
Yeah.
he almost stitches the narrative into his films afterwards.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's got to have an idea of what he's doing beforehand, because it's so brilliantly shot. And I want to know where on that sliding scale those films fit, because it can't come. Maybe he's just a real natural storyteller, but
Maybe you should reach out to Mitch. Get Mitch's.
yeah.
Speak to him.
Well, I think Beau's coming over to the UK, so Joe and I were like, "Oh, we're going to go and meet him, like do something somewhere."
Yeah, he is, because I think I emailed him afterwards. After that marketing meetup, said, "Look, I just want to drop you a note, say how chuffed I was to see you on the marketing meetup, been following your videos." And he replied, and he said, "Oh, yeah, I'm coming over to do a tour."
Right.
I was like, "Brilliant,
Yeah.
get tickets for that."
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to get tickets to go and see him. Such a fanboy.
Because
But yeah,
he makes videos like you said about, he doesn't conform to this cut
exactly that.
retention, and he's part of this. I don't know if you've seen it, but the YouTube new wave. Have you heard of that?
No.
So there's a couple of guys in the States who, if you search hashtag YouTube new wave,
Yeah.
oh, what's it? I can't remember what his name is. It's going to frustrate me, but basically they're going up against those kind of YouTube videos because they want it to be more slower paced, and
Yeah. It's
there is some good
proper.
ones.
It's proper storytelling. It's storytelling
Yeah.
in its finest form. Like, he can make a story about a piece of wood that he's turned into a paddle,
Yeah.
or collecting junk from the side of the road and taking it to the tip. Like, you go, well, that doesn't sound very interesting. Like, it's a freaking brilliant video.
His honestly, I will share it in the show notes for anyone who's wondering what me and you are fanboying about here. But there was one, there's a YouTuber I follow called Laura Try, who did this video running a mile an hour for 24 hours.
Okay.
And I started watching it, and she says in the video, she goes, "Oh, I got this inspiration from Beau Miles." I was like, "Oh, I've never heard of Beau Miles." And I watched that video. He did his version of that
Yeah.
she was inspired by. And I think that night, me and my wife literally sat and watched
All of them.
pretty much his entire YouTube catalog, with like 4 hours worth of. I was just like, this.
Yeah.
He is incredibly good to watch.
The first one I watched was Run the Line.
Yeah.
So the old railway line.
Yeah.
And just the combination of, like, he's really smart with his music choices. You wouldn't even notice them, but Like just the pace is beautiful. He's very human in his way. Like I still got that at the end of him running that line. He's sat in like an old disused railway station, and he's talking to a magpie,
Yeah. Eating
and
an
he's
apple
just
we found on the floor.
yeah, exactly, and he's just having this like it's not scripted. It's what I'm trying to create in human in its purest form.
Yeah.
Like he could do what I'm trying to do 10 times better. Absolute legend.
Do you think about his stuff when you're doing your cycling videos?
Yeah, so if you take the video that I did for the course, the trail dog video,
Yeah.
um, that I did, that was part of the Casey Neistat course. It's got an element of Beau inspired sort of scripting, not scripting, but storytelling in there. It's
Right.
not as good as Beau's, but it's performed really well.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, and hence I want to do
I'll
more.
link to that as well. But God, I have some links for this
Yeah,
video.
if you like, yeah, if you like dogs, if you like overexcited Labradors, then you'll like that video.
Was Joe familiar with Beau Miles before you suggested him?
No, it was one I introduced to him, which he's very grateful for.
Because I think I
Obviously,
actually sent. Did I send Joe that book? I think I sent Joe Beau Miles' book.
oh, did you?
And for the life of me, I cannot remember why I sent it to him. I think I must have been talking about Beau Miles on the podcast.
Yeah.
But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I wondered if he was a fan as a result.
Oh, he loves him. Absolutely loves him.
Does he?
Yeah. So
Good
yeah,
answer.
hopefully one day we'll get to meet him.
Got a picture video idea to him. He went to Canada to do. So he's doing the US Canada tour. You see the one he did where he was in the canoe with the homemade canoe in the Rocky Mountains?
Yeah.
See, that's what you need to do. You need to come up with an equivalent idea.
In the UK.
Yeah.
Taking mountain biking, couldn't I?
You could do.
Watch my channel explode. Collab.
That's the answer, mate.